Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and welcome to my Madina Book 3 series. In this video, I will be completing lesson number 5 from question 10 to 20. And in this section of questions and exercises, we will learn how to make ismun mafool. And we will go through how to make the structure of ismun mafool. So let's check the question first. So here you can see the question تعمل المثال لاسم مفعول. So we will now concentrate on making اسم مفعول. Before we made اسم فاعل, the one who does the action, and now we will do اسم مفعول means the object on which an action is being done. So this is actually the name of an object, and it is masugh means it is formed min fail ajwaf wawi. So in this question you need to pay attention on two things. First of all, you need to pay attention what you are making, ismun maful, and secondly, from which type of verb you are making. So as you know, in Arabic, every noun, every word, it goes back to the root letters in the past tense. So in order to learn the whole of sarf, this is what you call sarf, when you make new words from the past tense. Everything goes back to the past tense and you make present tense, you make command, then you make masdar, verbal noun, and then you make ismun ala. You will learn further when you study Madina book 3 in the coming lessons. And then you make ismun mafool and ismun file. Everything is made from the past tense. So those who are learning Madina book 3, I will advise that you learn the verbs, the past tense verbs very well, and pay attention on the root letters. So what are the root letters? If you don't understand about the root letters, there are certain letters. For example, this is a past tense, qala, and there are certain letters here, qaf. In this case, you can see qaf and lam. So these two letters, they will never get deleted. These are called sahi letters because they are not from the weak letters. If you remember, the weak letters in Arabic is waw, alif and ya. So all the letters except waw, alif and ya are called sahi letters. They are healthy letters. And weak letters are only 3. So if you don't see any weak letters, except weak letters, all the letters are healthy. They are called sahi letters. So these sahi letters, they will not change. In order, if even if you're making any structure, these root letters you will find in them. So we will pay attention on these root letters. As they will come, I will explain and I will mention, so you will inshallah understand. And what about this letter? I'm not saying anything about the alif, as I already explained in my previous video about the alif, that alif is not the original letter, but it is changed to wow. Sorry, it's not wow, wow or ya. So this is something, it's not an original letter. When you make a present tense, or you make the majhul, or you make the ismun mafool or file, it changes. So this is the two letters, it changes to, either it changes to waw or it changes to ya. So this is what we have done before. Now let's concentrate on the ismun mafool. So likewise, we had a scale for ismun file. So we have a scale for ismun mafool also. So what is the scale? Maf'ulun. Maf'ulun. This is the scale we will be following in making ismun mafool. But before I go on in explaining how to make the structure, just pay attention on this small information, that usually most of the original, asli means original, most of the original ismun mafool, we don't use it in our daily language, but we use more easier version of the ismun mafool structure. So it changes, some of the letters get deleted and it changes to more easier structure. So we will see. So here the first example is قال. And these are the majhul structure. From qala it became qila. So you have to memorize all these points, that qala have weak letter in between, that is alif, and when you change it into a majhul it changes to ya. All these things you have to memorize. So now in this set of verbs, we are concentrating on what type of verbs? Number one. So in this exercise, in exercise question number 10 to 20, we will learn four type of verbs. The first type we are going to learn is fail ajwaf, ajwaf middle. Wawi means the middle letter is weak and it changes to wow only. So these are the set of verbs which have an alif in between, as you can see, and this alif will change only to wow. So we will concentrate on ajwaf wawi, where alif will change only to wow. Now, my next point that I would like to tell you is what you have to keep in mind here. Another thing, that what we will have the structure of mafool bihi, it is very similar to the present tense. So you can match the harakas and the letters here. It's very similar to the present tense. So remember, this is point number one about ismun mafool, that whenever you make ismun mafool, you have to know the past tense first and then you have to know the present tense. Even though here a majhul is given, but you concentrate on the present tense because our scale will be based on the present tense. So you need to know the present tense very well. So this is what is the most important point here. But we will also learn to make the original scale. And original scale goes back to the original scale of the ismun mafool, that is maf'ulun. So these are the points, main points that you have to remember. So now let's start with the example. So the first one has been done for you. Qila is the majhul structure, and it means it is said. Where file is deleted, it is said. Qala is our past tense, where in the middle you can see alif, that is the weak letter, and yaqulu. So you can see clearly the alif is changed to waw. So if you know the present tense, very good. So now let's first make the original scale. How do you make the original scale? So let's go back to the white. Now let's see the scale. As I have told you, the scale is maf'ulun. And here what I have done is I have written all the letters separately. So the first verb that we came across was qala. And the present tense, as you know, it's yaqulu. So now let's keep the letters. Now, as I told you before about the root letters, the qaf and the lam, they are the original letters. They will not get deleted. But what can be deleted is the weak letter alif here, as you can see here. So, and now you see in the present tense, the alif is changed to waw. So this waw will remain as it is. It won't get deleted. So let's see. Let's put all these letters here in the scale. And before that, remember the harf mudare, we don't need the harf mudare. Instead, we will borrow the meme from the original scale, meme with fatha. So this is meme fatha. Now putting the original root letter and following the haraka, we are making the original scale now. Okay, so remember, we will follow all the harakas and all the structure as it is here. So the next letter is qaf. So we will put qaf with sukoon. And then comes the waw from the present tense. Okay, waw falls in the place of ain, as fa fall in the place of qaf. So waw falls in the place of ain with dhamma. Remember, it is with dhamma. Now this waw came here from the original scale, and the last letter, original letter, that is the lam, comes. We are borrowing the tanween from the from the scale. So we have all the harakas here. What do we have now? Maqulun. So it remains, this is the original scale, but we don't use maqulun in our daily language. But instead, what we do is we go back to the present tense. So what is the scale of present tense? Yaqulu, right? So now let's see. Instead of the ya, we don't need the harf mudare. We will borrow the meme, or this one, meme with fatha. We will borrow the meme. So we have meme fatha. Now what about the qaf? Qaf has a dhamma here. Remember I told you to pay attention on the harakas and the letters on the present tense and the original ones. So here qaf is with dhamma. So we will remove the sukoon. Qaf comes with dhamma. Sorry. Qaf comes with dhamma. So you need to pay attention on the present tense. As I said, our main scale that we use in the language is based on the present tense. Maq, and then the wow comes and the extra wow here gets deleted. So maqulun. I'm sorry I put a sukoon over it, but it's qaf with dhamma. Maqu, and then the lam comes with tanween. Why with tanween? Because you remember all the nouns can accept tanween, and we are making ism. We are making a noun. So now it has a tanween and no longer a single dhamma. Why? Because single dhamma is in only in the verb, not in the nouns. So we are making noun, so there is a tanween now on the noun. So what do we have in the scale? Maqulun. That's how we get the scale of ismun mafool. Maqulun means something eaten. So now let's go back to the question and we will do the rest of the words. So the next one is Zira, means Zara, coming from Zara means he visited, and Zira means it was visited. So our main past tense is Zara, and the present tense. Remember the structure of the present tense because we will get our scale from the present tense. Yazuru. Now, first of all, we will make the original scale. Now, putting the words, I mean the original root letters in the scale, maf'ulun, maf'ulun. Let's put it. So we will borrow the meme fatha, then the zai. So zai here will have a sukoon because we are following the original scale. Maz, now comes the wow. Mazwu, wow comes under the place of ain with dhamma, so it will have a dhamma. Then the wow from the scale we will borrow, and the ra, last root letter, ra. Mazvurun. So it is mazvurun. And now let's make the scale that we will use in the language. Now pay attention on the present tense. So instead of the harf mudari, we will borrow the meme fatha, then the zai with dhamma, mazu, and the wow comes in from the present tense, and the ra, mazurun, and this extra wow is deleted. Mazurun means something which is visited. Now lama, let's make the original. So what should be here? Meme fatha comes in, then lam with sukoon, mal. Then the wow comes in, wow in the place of the ain, dhamma, another wow, and lam. Sorry, it's not lam, but it's meme. So it's meme. Malumun means blamed. This means blamed. He blamed. So malumun, the blamed one. So now we'll make the usual scale that will be used. Meme, lam with dhamma, malumun. Malumun. And I think this is the printing mistake. Wow shouldn't have anything over it as it is a long vowel here. And the lam will have a dhamma. So now let's do the next. So this is the first kind of verb that you are learning, that is ajwaf wawi, where the alif changes to wow. Now we will learn the second type of fail, that is ajwaf ya'i, where the alif changes to ya when you change it into present tense. So let's see. Now let's see question number 11. تعمل مثال اسم مفعول. We are again making اسم مفعول formed from where will you form it? The structure from the fail that are ajwaf ya'i, means in the middle you have a weak letter alif. When you make a present tense, it will change to ya. So these are the verbs, these are the set of verbs where it will only change, the alif will only change to ya. So let's see. Ba'a yabi'u. Pay attention on the present tense because we will get the usual scale used in the language from the present tense. I'm repeating because those who are new, it will be helpful the more I repeat for them. So inshallah, let's do it. Asl means it. This scale is formed from the original scale maf'ulun. So let's do it. I'll write again. Maf'ulun. Maf'ulun. So the first one has been done for you. Ba'a yabi'u means he sold. Yabi'u he sells. Mabi'un something sold. Asl is mabyu'un. So one thing did you pay attention here? The original scale that we did before was mazvurun, maqwulun, malvumun. There were two waws. Why? Because alif was changing to waw. But here there is a ya and a waw. That means here the alif is changing to ya. That's why we don't have a double waw here. We have a ya and a waw. So this wow it gets deleted when we make the scale here depending upon the present tense. So we will make it now mabyu'an. So mim with fatha, ba falls in the place of fa, ya falls in the place of ain, and then we have waw from the scale, and ain will have a tanween now. It falls in the place of lam. So in making the usual scale, the mim comes in and the harf mudari gets deleted. Now pay attention on the ba. Here ba is having a kasra. Why is it having a kasra? Because the next letter is ya. And this letter is a long vowel. So it is a rule that whenever a long vowel comes, for example, if a ya comes, the previous letter will have a corresponding haraka kasra. If alif comes, the previous letter will have a corresponding haraka as fatha. If waw comes, the previous letter will have a dhamma. So here that's why the ba doesn't have a dhamma, because this the ya comes in. So it is mabi'un. Mabi'un. Let's do the next one so you will understand how we make it. Kala, to measure. Yakilu, he measures. Let's do the first do the original one. Mak, and then ya and waw. Mak, kaf falls in the place of fa with sukoon. Ya falls in the place of ain, so ya will have a dhamma, and leaving the waw as it is a long vowel, and lam last letter with dhammatain. Remember, we are making ism, so it will have a dhammatain. Tanween. Makyulun. Let's make the usual scale. Mim will be there, and deleting the harf mudare. Kaf with kasra. Why? Because the next letter is ya. Makilun. Something which is measured. So zada, to increase. Yazidu, he increases. So let's make the original. Mim from the scale. Zai comes in with sukoon. Maz. Then comes the ya, which falls in the place of ain with dhamma. Then the waw comes in, and then the dal original letter comes in with tanween. Mazyudun. So now what happens? Let's make the usual scale. Mim remains, harf mudari gets deleted. We are following the present tense scale. Yazidu. So it will be mazidun. Ya comes in, that's why it has a kasra, and dal and with dammatain. Mazidun, something increased. So I hope it's clear, very clear to you how the scales have come in, how the structure comes in, both of them, the original and the usual one. So now let's move on to question number 12. Let's move on to question number 12. Tamil misal ism mafool. Again, we are making ismun mafool, but now this is the third type of fail. What we are doing here is, let's see, we are doing the third type of fail, that is fail naqis wawi. So let's understand what is naqis wawi. We are still making ismaful. So this is the third type. First one was ajwaf wawi. The second was ajwaf yai. Now we are on the third type. It is naqis wawi. What do you understand by naqis? Naqis means something missing or something unusual. And when naqis comes in verbs, it means at the end of the verb. The letter at the end will be weak. So that is what you should have an idea as soon as you hear the word naqis. So where now we will be dealing with a set of verbs where you will see a weak letter at the end, and here it has alif as a weak letter at the end, and this alif will change to wow in the present tense. So as I said before, you need to keep an eye on the structure of the present tense. You should know the present tense, and simultaneously you should also see the majhul structures. If you can memorize, it will be very easier for you. So better to memorize all these structures. So now let's see. Da yad'u. The alif changed to wow only. So we are dealing with the set of verbs where there is a weak letter at the end, and that weak letter is alif, and it will only change to wow. So that's why it is called naqis wawi. So let's make the first original scale, and this also follows the same scale, maf'ulun. So we will match all the harakas and all the letters. So the first one is mad'un. So we have the meme from the scale, then the dal from the falls in the place of fa with sukoon, then the ain falls in the place of ain with dhamma, and then the wow comes in, and the wow weak letter comes again here, and we have a doubled wow. So make a point here in the naqis wawi and the naqis ya'i. So then fourth one and the last one is naqis ya'i. In both the verbs, what will happen? There is a slight change in ajwaf al-wawi and ajwaf al-ya'i. There is a slight difference between the two. In ajwaf, and naqis wawi and naqis ya'i, we will have in wawi double waw, and in naqis ya'i we have the double ya here, double ya. So there is a shadda. Remember, always remember, in the naqis wawi and ya'i we have a shadda. So in this scale, no letters get deleted. Instead, they overlap, and that's why we have a shadda here. So mad'uun, the waw gets overlapped, and there is a shadda with a tanween. So we have mad'uun. So we will follow this structure and make the rest of it. So tala means it was, tala means tala yatlu. So tala has a weak letter at the end. It changes to wow. Let's make the original one. Meme. Ta falls in the place of fa. Mat. Then the lam comes in the place of ain with dhamma. Then the wow comes, and then this wow at the end comes again. Matluun. So now what we will do, we won't delete any letter, but it will be overlapped. So we will follow the present tense structure. So the meme comes in, we don't need the harf mudare. Matluun. It's easy, very easy. Matluun. and this waw gets overlapped. Raja. So mim ra mar ju wun. It's very easy. So we have mar ju wun. Shadda and damatain. Marjuun. So let's see. Tala is it was followed. Tala to follow. Now Raja is to return. Marjuun is to no, Raja is to hope. Arju, if you can remember the present tense of Arju, that means I hope. Yarju, he hopes. So Raja means to have hope or to. Marjuun, then Marjuun. So you can see the difference between the scale. Now let's do the next question. That is question number 13. So it's the same. We will follow the same pattern. So Tamil is mafool and we will form it from fail naqis yai. Now we have fail naqis yai and this is the fourth one and the last one that we will learn in this lesson. And we will follow the same thing, but instead of wow, you will see a ya here. Why? Because now one tip I will give you here is we have the past tense here. Bana, qala, those verbs which have an alif maksura at the end, remember, will change to ya only. So that's how you can recognize and separate the verbs. Verbs with the alif maksura will change to ya in present tense. From bana, yabni, qala, yaqli. So let's see, the asl is mabnuyun. So following the scale of maf'ulun, as you can see, the meme falls here, then ba falls in the place of fa, noon falls in the place of ain, then the waw comes in, and the last letter ya comes here in place of lam with tanween. So we have the scale mabnuyun. What is happening here? One slight change is there. Instead of mabnuyun, it has been made easier and the waw is deleted. And as I said, as soon as the waw is deleted, what happens? The one ya, it is having a damatain here. So what happens is mab when the noon is when the noon loses its dhamma, what happens? The noon gets a kasra because the next letter is ya. So a ya comes in from the present tense. The ya comes in. As I said, if the long vowel ya comes, the previous letter will have a kasra, and that's why the dhamma is removed. So that is one answer why dhamma is removed here. And the waw is deleted because the ya comes in, and we are doing naqis yai. So remember, doesn't have any role here. The waw doesn't have any role here. So mabni, and the ya here comes from the scale. So I'm writing separately so that you can understand. Mabniyun. So we have two yas, one ya from the present tense, second ya from the scale. So in the proper structure, it becomes ya overlaps. So let's do this. Mabniyun. So meme remains, ba with sukoon remains as in the present tense. Then the noon with kasra remains. And what happens to the two ya? It overlaps and ashadda comes with the matain. Mabniyun. And whenever you pronounce this word, you have to stress at the end because of the two yas. Mabniyun. Same goes with the qala. We will follow the same pattern for qala. So, maqliyun. Sorry, we are making the original. Maqluyun. Maqluyun. So now we will do here. Maqli. Why lam with kasra? Because of the ya. And maqliyun. Maqliyun. So there is a lam with kasra because of the two ya's overlapping here. And this waw gets deleted, ya from the present tense comes and another ya comes from the main scale. Now let's do the next one. The next words are, let's do it. Okay, shuwiya, all these are majhul. We don't have anything to do with the majhul structure, but we will just concentrate on the present tense. Let's do it. Now we have the shawa, means to grill, kawa to iron. Let's make the original scale. Meme, sheen, mash, vuyun. So let's do this. Mashwuyun. So we are doing naqis yai. So this waw will get deleted. As I said, we will follow the present tense. And in present tense, we have a waw, right? So mash, meme, sheen. Sheen will have a sukoon. And then we have a waw with kasra. Mashwiyun, and this ya is with shadda and the matain. So we have all the letters from the present tense. We are following the present tense structure, right? But in the original scale, we have double vowels. Now kawa, mak. There are little exceptions in the words and the scale. So where there are exceptions, you need to memorize it. Mak, wuyun. So these are exceptions because waw is coming back in the naqis yai. So meme, kaf with sukoon, mak, we, as waw is in the present tense, ya with the shadda and the matain. Makwiyun, something iron, something grilled. So let's do question number 14. I hope it's clear now. Question number 14, we have دع أسماء المفعولين من الأفعال الآتية واذكر mention. Means you need to put all these verbs in a table and you have to mention about the fail, then its type, then its mafool be ismun mafool formed from the verb, and then the original scale. So I'll do this in my whiteboard, inshallah. So let's do question number 14 here. The first one is shawa. So this is the majhul ones, and what type is it? Now here they have not given the original past tense, so I will write it here. Inshallah, I will write it here. So the it's shawa, sheen, waw, and the alif makhsura, shawa. Shawa. Now from shawa you can make out there is alif makhsura at the end, so it will change to ya. So what is the present tense here? So the present tense here is yashwi. Yashwi. We have a waw and a ya at the end. Yashwi. So the moment you know the present tense, you will make out it is naqis ya'i. So this is its type. Then the ismun mafool is mashwiyun, the same as we made before, and the asl is mashwuyun. We don't use the scale, but we use mashwiyun. Kutiba comes from kataba. This is all Sahih letters. I already spoke about the Sahih letters. There are no weak letters. So that's why it is written Sahih, means all the letters are Sahih, healthy, they are not weak. So the scale used is maf'ulun, maktubun. So we use the original scale here. Ukhiza, su'ila and Korea. These three fail are Mahmuz alfa. As if I have not explained, if you are new here, let me just go through it quickly. Mahmuz means a fail where there is a hamza. One of the letter of the fail is a hamza. So hamza can come in the first place, in the middle, or in the last. So in the sarf, when you learn sarf, the scale of a triliteral verb is fa, a, and la. So fa is called the fa al fa'il. Ain is called the, sorry, there is no dot over ain. Ain is called the ain al fa'il. Lam is called the lam al fa'il. That's why here this verb is called al mahmuz al fa. Why? Because in the place of fa there is a hamza. That's why it is called mahmuz al fa. Then the second one, su'ila, in the middle there is hamza, so that's why it is called mahmuz al ain. And here it is called mahmuz al lam because it is in the place of last, that is the lam, lam al fa'il. So in this akhaza, it's akhadha. So this is the original triliteral verb, ya'khudhu. Ya'khudhu, sorry. Ya'khudhu. So that, like that. Ya'khudhu. And then we have ma'khudhun. So we have the original scale for maf'ulun. Su'ila, mahmuz al-ain. Now you know su'ila comes from sa'ala, and yas'alu. Yas'alu. So this is the present tense, yas'alu. We have mas'ulun. Mas'ulun, the original scale. We use the original scale. Same for qara'a, qaf, ra, and hamza at the end. Yaqra'u. Yaqra'u. So it is mahmuz al-lam, maqru'un. So one may ask, why this hamza? It is a rule that if hamza comes at the end in some words, it will sit on the line. When the hamza is separated, it sits on the line and it comes in its original form. This is the writing rule of hamza. Maqru'un. Surra comes from sarra. Now we come to doubled letters, where in the verb you have overlapping letters. That's why it is called mud'af, means doubled letters. So we follow the same original scale, masrurun. And now let's see the rest of the verbs. Okay, surra is the majhul form, but the original is sarra. Mudaf and masrurun, we use the same original scale. Wuzina comes from wazana, wazana, and it's yazinu. And this is the verb where you have three letters in the past present tense. So this is another kind of verb. What kind of verb is this? It is a verb where the first letter is waw. It starts with a waw. And remember, this is from the sarf. When you learn the sarf, you will learn all these things. When you come across a verb where there is a waw in beginning of a verb, that waw gets deleted and only two letters remain. The two letters is the zai and the noon. And with these two letters, the harf mudare is joined. So instead of four letters in present tense, we have three letters. So this is an unusual present tense. Usually you have seen in present tense we have four letters, but this is unusual one. So this kind of verb where there is a waw and makes its present tense with three letters, it's called mithal al-wawi because it has a waw in the beginning. So now we use the original scale. Mawzunun. Mawzunun. Sina comes from sana. And you know this kind of verb where we have a alif. And what is the present tense? Yasunu. Yasunu. So there is a waw in present tense. So what kind of verb is this? This is ajwaf wawi. So that's why it is called ajwaf al-wawi. And here it should be ajwaf al-wawi. I don't know why they have given ya'i. Because in the present tense it's waw. Yasunu. Masunun and maswoonun. Nusia comes from nasa. This is also an unusual verb. Now you see there is an alif makhsura. I have come across two kinds here. Sometimes it has yansi with the noon sukoon, ya harf mudare, and with the ya. And as I have seen, yansa with an alif makhsura in the present tense. So here they might have taken yansi. That's why it is naqis ya'i, mansiyun and mansuyun. So this is all from the previous how we have learned making naqis ya'i. So this is all the verbs done. So now let's go on to the question number 15. Question number 15. استخرج من الدرس أسماء الفاعلين. Means you need to take out. استخرج, to take out from the lesson all the ismun fa'il and the ismun mafools, and mention. أذكر means to mention. أصل means the original from which fi'l it has been derived from. كل واحد منها والفعل الذي اشتق means the from which verb it has been derived from, the ismun fa'il or the ismun mafool, and the type of the fi'l, either whether it is ajwaf wawi or ajwaf ya'i or naqis wawi or naqis ya'i, the four types of verb that we learned. So let's see, we will do in the whiteboard. So here it's ismun fa'il. Za'irun comes from zara. Remember in zara we have original scale. Sorry, zawirun. We have a wow in between. This is the original one. But when you make ismun fa'il, it changes to hamza. The wow changes to hamza. Za'irun. So it is what kind of verb? It is ajwaf al-wawi. Natiqi, the nataqa comes from nataqa, and all the letters are sahih, so it is called as sahih. Hadi comes from hada, and yahdi, as I said, last is alif makhsura, changes to ya, that's why it's naqis ya'i. Saqin, this is a kind of verb, ism manqus. If you write it with alif lam at tarif, it is as-saqi. The qaf comes with the ya. It is allowed to write with the ya. But the moment lam at-tarif is deleted, becomes nakira and it becomes saqin. The ya also gets deleted. You cannot write with ya, but it's written with the kasratain. Here. So this is all the rules from ism manqus that you learned in the first lesson of this Madina book 3. So you can see the verb, it has an alif makhsura at the end, so that is naqis ya'i. Mahdiyun comes from hada. Hada, to he guided. Hada, and this also has an alif makhsura at the end, that is naqis al-ya'i. And mad'uun comes from da'a. You know this verb, all done in the lesson. This changes to wow. That's why it is called naqis al-wawi. Let's do question number 16 now. So question number 16, we have all these words from the first sentence, abi qadin. So the word qadin is ism manqus, as I said, al-qadi with the ya, because it's with the lam alif, and when you write it without lam alif, it comes with kasraten and the ya gets deleted. So it is ismun fa'il, comes from the verb qada. So again, if you see the alif makhsura at the end, it is changes to ya, it is naqis al-ya'i. So qadiyun, this is the original, and the fail is qada, and it is naqis ya'i. Second one is the sa'im, as-sa'imun ant. So we have sama, this is yasumu. So you should know the present tense, yasumu. So it changes to wow. So what kind of verb is this? This is ajwaf al-wawi. So here it's not given, so I'm doing it on my own. Sama yasumu صائم. So ismun mafool will be صائم. And this Hamza changes. Why? Because the original one was Sawimun. So the waw gets deleted and Hamza comes in. Sawimun. Remember, it will change to Hamza like Naimun or Sawimun. Now the next one is أحب اللحم المشوي و okay, there is Sa'imun here, Sawimun. And now we will do the others as Mabni. Mabni you have done before in the question, Mabnuyun, and comes from the verb Bana. Bana. And now let's do the others. So the fourth sentence is, so you can check in your book, the fourth sentence is أحب اللحم المشوية والبيض المقلية. So our word is mashwi and maqli. We did this in the question, previous question. So mashwuyun and maqluyun comes from shawa. I will write here, shawa. And moment you see alif maqsura, so it's ya'i. Qala comes from the past tense qala, naqis al-ya'i. So this will be easier. Maqliyun, how it is formed, we have done it previously. Dalla comes from the mud'af, so it is dalla. Dalla yadullu. 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 فاعل فعل فعل فاعل فعل صحيح. This is, there is no weak letters. مشغول مغسول, sorry, مغسول, it is غسل. And يغسل, it's يغسل. All صحيح letters. So we have مغسولة. So this is another scale following with ta marbuta, but all the harakas and structure are similar. Only a ta marbuta is added afterwards. مغسولة. Then this one is kawa with the last, I mean the last letter is alif maksura. Kawa. Yakwi comes makwiyatun and makwuyatun. So makwuyatun, there is a ta marbuta. So even if you don't understand this scale, remember the original scale has double waw, ya and ta marbuta. So what is happening? As we know, the past tense has alif maksura, so the vowels in the original scale will get deleted and you will have a ya coming in because of the present tense having ya. Yakwi, all this I have discussed before, so you shouldn't have any confusion here. That's why this ya is having a shadda and a ta marbuta. Why? Because the some scales are with the ta marbuta, so the ta marbuta is added and ya is with the shadda, and this waw comes from the present tense, makwiyatun. Then asha, yaishu, the present tense is yaishu. We have Asha, Yaishu, present tense, because you need to know the present tense, Yaishu. So the ya comes in, and it's ajwaf, ya'i. And this is Aishatun and Aishatun. And this ya is changed to Hamza. So this has been done by the Arabs before. So anything that the structure or anything we will follow, simply follow what they have done. So the ya changes to Hamza. Aishatun, the living. And Tafa comes Yatufu. Yatufu comes present tense, yatufu. So tawifun, so this gets deleted, and ta'ifu, the file comes as ta'ifu. and this is ajwaf al-wawi. Then al-mada, the past, al-madi, and it's the same one. Comes then the masnunun, maswoonun comes from sana. So this is this is the 8th sentence. I'm sorry if I'm not following the sentence number, so you can follow in your book. So number 8 is la takhaf fa in sirraka masunun. So our word is masunun. It's ismun mafool. So comes from the verb sana. Comes from the verb sana. As soon as you see alif, it's ajwaf al-wawi. Yasunu, present tense is yasunu, and from that you get masunun. Then the next one is question number 9. Aina mas'ulun anil imtihan. So our word is mas'ulun, comes from sa'ala, and it's comes from sa'ala. And yasilu, yasalu, and from yasalu comes mas'ulun. Then this comes from nama yanamu. This is an exception verb because in the present tense also the alif doesn't change, so it's yanamu. So you need to remember all these exception verbs, yanamu, and in the file it's nawimu. So in we delete the waw and hamza comes in naimun, the one who sleeps. Then in the sentence number 11, la turaddu as-sal'atu al-mabi'atu. So we have mabi'a, comes from ba'a, sold, he sold, ba'a. And you know how these has come into existence, mabi'atun and mabiyu'atun. Then it is, as you know, it changes to ya, is ajwaf al ya'i. It's not wawi, it's ya'i. So I think this is a printing mistake. And at-tali, now we will do another at-tali. Now at-tali is from the sentence ajab ana su'al at-tali. So at-tali ismun fa'il. Tala, to follow, and tala, as we have done this verb before, so no need to do it again, and it is atali. So here it is the ismun fa'il. Yatlu, the present tense is yatlu, so as you know the alif changes to waw, that's why it's naqis al-wawi. And marun comes from marra, yamurru, so marirun, and the two letters get overlapped and we have marun. Qa'ada, to sit, sahi letters, qa'idun, and we have the scale for ismun fa'il as qa'idun. Rakaba, rakiba, so rakibun, and we have the same scale, rakibun. Then we have the al-masha, masha, and then we have from a yamshi. Then you know, as soon as you see the alif makhsura changes to ya, the present tense is yamshi, and then it becomes mashiyun, means the original scale al-mashi. So this is the ismun post. So if you write without lamat tarif, it becomes mashin. Mashin, ismun post. Mashiyun. Yamshi. I'll write the present tense. Yamshi. So this is all the verbs, and now we will go back to the book because there are 2-3 sentences left in the end. So the sentences left is at-ta'ibu min adh-dhan kaman la dhanba lahu. So at-ta'ib, the repenter. So this comes from the verb taba. Taba, to repent. And as you can see, there is an alif, so it is tawibu, and the waw changes to hamza, becomes ta'ib, the repenter, and comes from the ajwaf al wawi. The present tense is yatubu. قال تعالى ولكل قوم هاد. هاد اسم منقوص, comes from the past tense hada, and now as soon as you see the alif maksura changes to ya in present tense, yahdi. So it is ناقص الياء يهدي. Then كل نفس ذائقة الموت. ذائقة is ذاق, comes from ذاق and يذوق. So the present tense is يذوق. يذوق. What comes in? The waw comes in. So it is اجوف الواوي. And ذائقة means it is the taste. تنقل نقل. So نقل. صلاة الجمعة بإذاعتين. إذاعتين means two radios. This is a dual. إذاعة means radio. المسموعة comes from سمع, he listened. And مرئية comes from رأى. And there is an alif maksura, alif maksura here. So يسمع. يسمع. These are sahih letters. رأى, يرى. So this is يرى. And from that becomes mar'iyya following the maf'ulatun scale, and masmu'a following the same scale, maf'ulatun. Masmu'a means something heard, mar'iyya something seen, something which is seen. So this is the end of question number 16. Now let's proceed to question number 17. We are almost at the end. So here nothing has to be done, but let's read this question. Sallama alayhi. Sallama alayhi. This verb means to greet. Say the Islamic greeting, Assalamu alaikum. Ay here means meaning. Meaning qala lahu. Assalamu alaikum. So they have given three forms: past, present, and command. Sallama, yusallimu, and sallim. Ittala'a ala al-amr means alimahu, means he knew it. Ittala'a, yattali'u, ittala. It is synonym. Ista'dhanahu fi kaza means to give permission. Ay talab. Idhnahu means asking permission. So ista'dhana, yasta'dhinu, ista'dhin. Past, present, and command. Igtanama al-fursa means to grab the opportunity. Ay meaning intahaza. This is the synonym. Igtanama, yaghtanimu. So either you can use intahaza or you can use igtanama. Both are having same meaning, just like ittala and alima. So اغتنم, يغتنم, اغتنم. انتهز is the same here. ينتهز and انتهز. تراوح to rotate. يتراوح. So we have يتراوح, the past and the present. So let's see question number 18. هات مضارع. You have to give the present tense of these verbs. مضارع الفعل. So what is the present tense of ترك? Let's do it. ترك, يترك, يترك. All sahih letters. نطق, ينطق, ينطق. So, and صاحب means to give companionship. يصحب, يصحب. Question number 19. Hati jama means you have to give the plural. Nuskhatun. Nuskha is nasakha, coming from nasakha means copy, and coming from nasakha, so nusakhun. Hadiyatun, coming from the gift, it is hadaya. It's hadaya. And markaz, center, marakaz. Forsa is the opportunity. Furasun. Unwan, address. Anawinu. Sirra is to secret. Asrarun. So these are the plurals. Now let's go on to see question number last 20. Hatim mufrad. Shu'un, matters. Manahij is the syllabus or the ways. So both you can say. Shu'un, sha'nun. Manahij, manhajun. So this is the end of the lesson. Alhamdulillah, I have completed, and if there are any mistakes from my side, excuse me, and inshallah I'll be coming with the next lesson number 6 of Madina book 3 very quickly. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.